What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another one. Where's all fights start at round one. So let me know that you hear me loud and clear as you tuning in to the live stream, so we can break this down. Yo, what's up, Carlos? How you doing in the building? Can you hear me loud and clear? Let me know. Let me get a one, text one, so that I know that you guys hear me loud and clear. My belt, bruh. What's poppin', Edwin? Yeah, you hear me loud and clear. All right, thank you guys. Yo, listen, your interim title is on the way, okay? Yo, good call, by the way. Good call. I went up on the text and I saw that you read. I read your message and everything. That was a good call, but unfortunately, I had to back away from that fight with Floyd, which I'm glad I kind of did, because boy, did that fight look trash. Floyd Mayweather, I don't want to say this about one of our legends, but even in a exhibition fight, it looks like you paid the guy not to throw punches. Like, really? Like, it looked like this guy could. He had 20 pounds, 21 pounds on Floyd Mayweather night of fight, right? He weighed in at 181. Floyd weighed in at 160 with all his clothes on. He weighed in with all his clothes on, 160. All right. So it goes to show that Floyd could have never passed 154. When he was winning those world titles, he didn't belong there. But it's a testament to his skills back then. Right now, I think Floyd should just hang it up. All this talk about Gervonta Tank Davis, don't go out there and get hurt. Like, your cat-like reflexes, and they're not there. I don't know what he's thinking, but hopefully this just dies down from here and we see some real fights like Gervonta back in the ring and some real world champions. Speaking of which, let's see here. What's up, Joseph? What's up? 1 week from the fight. Yeah, you know it, brother. You know it. Yeah, he beat so many bigger guys, Floyd, and that's why he's really great. There are fight fans right now and spectators saying that they don't feel that Terence Crawford should move up any further from 154. And I'm in agreement with that. I think that he should just stay at 154, whatever business he wants to hold, settle on the tail end of his career, do so, and then get out. Don't venture up there 160, 168. He doesn't belong up there. He doesn't have that kind of body frame. He's not he's not built like that, like thick, you know what I'm saying? And I think Terence Crawford's right where he needs to be. Uh, so look, we are a week or so away from one of the biggest fights and one of, if not the best fighter we have, technical boxer in boxing right now currently, with Naoya the Monster Inoue. Now, a lot of us want to see this fight for many different reasons. Some of us just want to see him back in action, which I'm thankful to see him back in action. Thank you to TJ Doheny for stepping up and saving the September date when no one else would step up and take this fight. Naoya Inoue had options. He had a lot of options and a lot of people to pick from for the September 3rd date, but remarkably, nobody picked up the phone except TJ Doheny. Now, I was just going back and I was watching some highlights on TJ Doheny, and it reminded me some of the battles that he was in. You know, he did fight a lot of Japanese fighters and he put several of them down. In fact, coming off his last 3 fights were all scheduled in Japan, which were all victories. TJ Doheny is a real live dog here. Let's not forget he's a professional boxer, and he is and was a former world champion. Not currently right now, but he's a former world champion. So it speaks to where TJ Doheny brought his career, when we all know not every man and woman is promised the title fight. Not every man and woman is good enough to get up there to get the title fight and win it. Some people get a title fight, but they never win the title. TJ Doheny won the title. He went toe to toe with Roman, and I said and I advise you to go check that fight out to see what kind of fighter TJ Doheny really is. You know, he's got a sharp a sharp shot right over the jab. He's a lefty, so a southpaw is always going to cause problems, right? Naoya Inoue, into recent time, he had a really good record against southpaw fighters, and he's been fighting a lot of southpaw fighters, you know, uh, regularly. Um, I don't think it really matters for him. He's such a technical boxer that righty, lefty, brawler, you name it, he's faced it all. Naoya Inoue is truly a special and gifted fighter that only comes around every so often. His understanding for the sport of boxing is it's truly unique. You know, it's something I've really rarely ever saw. Usually you'll get a guy that's speed, quick, good movement, evasive, but no power. Then you get a guy with all power, but very little skill. It's a rare combination when you can have both. Equipped with a great ring IQ, good fundamentals, and good footwork. All of that together really, you know, it makes him a complete fighter, Naoya Inoue. And I've talked about this several times on my videos. Um, every time I watch him, I do learn something more from him. He makes me think as a fighter what I wasn't doing when I was coming up and what I should have been doing. And he makes fighting, um, he even brought up fighting to another level of my understanding. Just watching him, you could learn a lot from a guy that's fighting. And like I say, bro, I'm an American. I'm spoiled as hell. I've seen the greatest fighters in the world. I've seen the best of the best. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. It's really hard to impress me, right? And when I watch him and fighters like Abdullah Mason, you know, Camille Moulton fought the other night too. Floyd Mayweather did have a couple fights on that card besides a bunch of exhibition fights. And I know that he's trying to get this kid's name up there. He has 5 fights now. He made short work of his competition. And my friend that was watching the fight with me, right? So because we went back and I had left previously, so I wanted to go back and watch the Mayweather. So we started watching some of the fights. So I was watching it with him and he says, "Man, that guy Camille Moulton, the guy they got in front of him is a fucking bum. He's a tomato can, right? That kid Camille Moulton outclassed him. He's just way too good for that guy." And I turn around and I look at him and I say, "You do realize that that's a 17-year-old kid and he only has 5 professional fights?" And he said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, he's 17 years old and he only has 5 professional fights. So if you're talking about the guy that has the less boxing experience, it is him." He says, "Yo, I couldn't tell. It looked like he was the more polished, experienced boxer than the other guy, the Mexican." And I said, "You see how good he looks? You see how strong, how polished he's not a complete polished fighter. Camille Moulton gets a hit a little bit too much for my liking. He takes a lot of risk. He does. Um, he's a kind of forward, uh, good combination, power puncher. He looks strong. But like I said, he has to work on his defense and his evasion ability, evading. You know, he has side to side movement. He has to work on that. Yeah, because um I've seen guys in his first 2 fights, you know, crack him, you know, and had that guy had some power, he might have sat Camille Moulton down. You know, he took those kind of punches from those guys. I'm not sure. Maybe those guys did have power. Maybe he was just strong enough to walk through. Time will tell. I'm not sure. It's either one or the other, right? So we're going to find out. But boy, did the kid look good. And I like that. Yo, Cookie, you all right? What are you guys talking about? Subre Matias, he's got to get in the ring soon. What's up, Frontline? How you guys doing? Armando, how you doing? Yo, Frontline. Yo, Matias is trying to work on some things. Um, I'm hearing a lot of things, but no definitive fighter for him. Yeah, I've heard a couple, but nothing really there. Uh, what's interesting that I'm hearing is a lot of back and forth between Jerron Boots Ennis, yeah, and Norton Jr. there, the WBO champion, and Jerron Boots Ennis is the IBF champion for the 147. Now, since Mario Barrio, I guess this is serious. I didn't think this was gonna fucking fly, but I guess they're gonna let him fight Manny Pacquiao. So I'm like, are they serious? Like they're gonna really let Manny Pacquiao fight Mario Barrio after what the kickboxer did to Manny Pacquiao? You're gonna put him in with a professional boxer? Mario Barrio is gonna hurt Manny Pacquiao. And you don't want to know something? If the Philippines and all the fans are don't love their fighter as much as we love our American fighters, well then fine. You want to let Manny Pacquiao go into the ring? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. One thing I will not say, and I'm not in agreement with, I do not want to see Mike Tyson fight Jake Paul. I do not. And Jake Paul, you better not touch Mike Tyson. I'm gonna tell you right now. I yo, but if the Philippines want to let Mario Barrio punch in his head, that's how you guys feel, Philippines? That's you guys are cool with this? You guys ain't got none to say about old ass Manny Pacquiao, 45 years old, coming to fight Mario Barrio. You guys are good with all that, even at his last performance. If you guys are cool with it, then I'm cool with it. Go ahead, do your thing. Do your thing, right? But as far as me, nah, I don't want to see Mike Tyson fight Jake Paul. No, no, I don't. I don't want to see Roy Jones come back. I don't want to see Roberto Duran come. None of them dudes. I don't want to see none of them dudes come back. Stay retired. Stay, even the greatest fighter, Floyd Mayweather, is still trying to mix it up. And I gotta admit, that wasn't a fight. That was not a fight. I don't know what the hell the Gotti kid is thinking or doing. But apparently somebody told him not to throw a punch. Go figure, huh? Yo, that shit was bad, bro. Yo, Ryan, listen, the problem is that Mike Tyson is 60 years old. People gotta stop this shit. People gotta stop living off of the name Iron Mike Tyson. Yeah, we know who he once was. He's still a 60-year-old man. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I'm up there in age myself. If you gave me a 4-month training camp, I think I could whip enough into shape to properly fight Jake Pauls. I'm not sure how much my body would respond. I have no idea. Would have to find out. I know I probably feel sluggish a little bit or whatever. My eye-to-eye coordination will probably be off. I would have to I don't think 4 months is gonna get me up to boxing standard. It probably get me to fighting standard. But boxing standard, I'm not sure about that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a pretty strong dude. I haven't lost many fights in my life. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I would have a problem fighting Jake Paul, man, because of my age, right? Mike Tyson got 10 plus years on me. And you're gonna tell me that he's gonna be it's just he the fighter you once was and the things that he once did is what is selling this fight. And they got people thinking that Mike Tyson is going to do this. Well, I have news for you guys. All right. If you guys want to see some evidence, real evidence on Mike Tyson, just go watch his last fight that he was officially in the ring with. That's it. Don't watch the Roy Jones exhibition. That's not his last fight. His last professional fight on the record books. Go watch that fight. And that Mike Tyson was 10 years younger. And he got beat up by that dude, by some no-name dude, right? And he said he can't do it no more. He said he couldn't do it no more. He said it wasn't in him anymore. Remember that ass whooping? Right? Jake Paul is a solid 180, 190-pound dude, bro. A young dude, a brawler. If he just blitzes Mike Tyson, it's over. It's over, man. I don't think Mike Tyson can stop a full-fledged blitz attack from Jake Paul. And that's all Jake Paul got to do. Come out the round one and just blitz him. Boom, 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 boom. This fight is over with. That's what I would do. I wouldn't play around with Mike because of the fact that you I know this for a fact. The last thing to go on a man is his strength. Mike Tyson is probably strong, but the one thing that the man doesn't understand that yeah, the last thing to go on you is your strength. But one of the first things to go is your cat-like reflexes. Your reflexes go first. And not only did Mike Tyson lose a step at 60, he probably lost 3 steps. I'm not sure if he's going to be fast enough. And then when he throws a combination of a 3-piece, 4-piece combination, what's he going to do after that? What's he going to do when he throws a 4-piece combination and his body doesn't contract like it did when it was younger? It doesn't back. You're just exhausted at the 4 punches. You're just like, what the hell? Why doesn't my body respond? And then you're trying to take a break. You throw 2 more punches. You tired as hell. That's what's going to happen, man. Yo, we got the donation in the building. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the lookout. Let's throw this up. What's he saying? Zero Fallout. Tell these youngins the only person that understand his father time. Yo, Father Time is undefeated, brother. He is undefeated. Unless your name is Tom Brady. Unless your name is Tom Brady, Father Time is undefeated. And technically, truth be told, hey, yo, thank you for the donation, brother. I appreciate that. I got to give you one more, man, because I love the donation, because that gets me one step closer to going out to these fights and bringing you guys these interviews. Yo, I'm going to tell you right now, technically, Tom Brady didn't beat Father Time. He aged fairly well, and he went with it. Some of us don't age quite the same, but not only did he age fairly well, he worked out a lot. Like, his training was ridiculous. It was like he knew he was getting old. So when you're younger, you could work out, bi-weekly or 2 or 3 days on and shit, right? And you're good. You can miss a day, 2 days. You could half hour today, an hour tomorrow. I'll make up for it on Tuesday type shit, right? Tom Brady was in a perpetual workout for like the last 8 years of his career, to tell you the truth. They boosted that TB12 shit. He admitted it too, right? They boosted it up, but he really went in like the last 8 years of his career, like right in there. Like the first 10 were like him fucking around, eating cheeseburgers, winning Super Bowls, and the Patriots. He wasn't on that fucking Brady shit, TB12 shit. They were advertising it later. He went on like on a 9-year losing streak before he lost 2 to the Super Bowl. But anyway, what I mean is that Tom Brady was in a perpetual state of working out. As he was getting older, he just never stopped working out. Morning, noon, night, Tom Brady was working out. And he kept his body up like that. That's why I think he was really able to sustain and play at that level. Plus, he was incredibly talented and gifted. They're not gonna know how talented and gifted he was until he left, and now that's what they're saying. Oh shit! Every year he wasn't the best quarterback. He's not even an elite Super Bowl. He's not even in the top 5 Super Bowl. Right? Right? So, when you get these kind of fights and Mike Tyson fighting, I have a special soft spot in my heart for Mike Tyson because he is probably the most influential boxer in my generation, in my time. When Floyd was doing his thing, I was a little bit distracted by Floyd's antics. I didn't understand what he was doing then. And I was like, somebody beat this motherfucker, you know what I mean? Right? But once I started really recognizing and I took the time to really pay attention to what Floyd was doing, I realized that everything else was a facade. All the chains, the money, that's what he wanted you to see. But in the gym, he was an animal. He was the real deal, Floyd Mayweather. When it came to training, all that preparation, he didn't fuck around, bro. He did not mess around when it came to training and working out. He'd be on vacation, jumping a rope, talking to his girl. Hey, baby, are you having a good time? Me too. I'm having a great time. Still hitting pads, trying to convince her that these are tricks. Like, look, babe, look what I can do. Still training. That's Floyd was he was almost obsessed with boxing. That was his drug, Floyd Mayweather. So when I came to learn that I realized it, that I was like, oh shit, man, he had a lot of people fooled, including myself. Right? I thought he was just this flamboyant dude drinking, probably smoking, banging all these prostitutes, right? I'm thinking, man, he's gonna get knocked out fight night, right? Nah, that was all a facade. And when I came to realize that, I got much older, that I started appreciating boxing for what it is. It's a business, it's entertainment, it's blood, it's all together in one. And we love it. And we love it. I like to see that mouthpiece fly out. Boom! And that mouthpiece, oh, it goes, and he's like, my mouthpiece over there. Right? Right? I like to see an occasional tooth fly out. Right? You know? So and like that bloody situation with Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fondora. Was that a lot of blood or what? Did you get your money's worth? Huh? Did you get enough blood? Yo, the blood was just pouring, right? So those are exciting fights, and that's what I like to see. But at the same time, when I get a distaste in my mouth for something that's not right, I'm gonna speak on it. I don't want to see Manny Pacquiao get in this ring with Mario Barrio. I'm gonna tell you guys that right now. You guys want to watch that shit? I'll watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna like it because I know what I'm gonna see. I know exactly what I'm gonna see. If Manny Pacquiao couldn't do nothing to that kickboxing dude that has no idea how to box, all he was doing was fighting. It wasn't boxing. He was just fighting, right? You're gonna put Mario Barrio. Mario Barrio is not the best fighter in the world, and Manny Pacquiao in his prime would probably beat the shit out of him, right, and knock him out. Mario Barrio. Manny Pacquiao would probably knock him the hell out in his prime, right? But Mario Barrio's not a kid anymore. Mario Barrio's a grown ass man now. Have you seen him lately? I watched him grow up in boxing. He looks like he's in peak prime. He's reached his prime. And I know one thing right now, if you was to put him in the ring once again with one-time Keith Thurman right now, Mario Barrio, I think he'll beat him. I think he'll beat one-time Keith Thurman. I think he was a little enamored by his name and this, that, and the third. And after that beating with Tank Davis and shit, when he suffered his first loss and Tank Davis showed him that, yeah, let me get that. Oh, you ain't undefeated no more. But I think that Mario Barrios would hurt Manny Pacquiao right now. So I just think that these legends got enough money. This is a young man sport, you know. There's other ways you can give back, you know. And speaking of which, a young man's sport right now. Did you see Naoya's when he was training? He was I was watching some of it on Top Rank with his dad, and that Naoya, because I knew it. 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 When he went down in that fight, I said to myself, yo, whoever you guys get in the ring with this monster, right? Naoya Inoue is gonna destroy him. He's a little embarrassed, and he still has that in the back of his mind. I think he actually thought, not only did he think that he might retire undefeated, but I think he thought he would retire out of the sport without even being put down once in your career. Now, all controversy aside, we know this to be a fact. Floyd Mayweather got a standing 8 count. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. He has been knocked down on record books in a fight. Floyd Mayweather. That's a fact. That's 100% fact. Whether or not he went down, whether or not his opponent wasn't the one that brought him down, in fact, it was caused by a broken hand. When he went to wave his hand, his glove touched the canvas. That is a ruled knockdown, because the guy also hit him, didn't catch him flush, kind of glanced off his shoulder, but nevertheless, Floyd Mayweather's glove touched the canvas. And didn't he, or did he not, the referee, start counting in front of Floyd Mayweather? Yes or no? Did he count until 8? Yes. Was that recorded in the fight? Yes. Is it recorded in the history books? Yes. Is it an official knockdown on box? Yes, it is. But it is a bullshit knockdown. And we all know it. So technically, you know, nobody ever knocked him down. But recordedly on record, he has 1 knockdown. Yes, he does. Just like Terence Crawford was knocked down in his fight, they didn't count it. They didn't count the knockdown. It goes to show you that these men, they're in fights. They ain't no easy ass fight. Naoya Inoue didn't ask for no easy fight. What he asked for was the best of the best. And he seems to be the only boxer currently in boxing doing exactly that. When you got guys fighting one great guy, 4 tomato cans, one good guy, 4 tomato cans. Like the stretch between them, great fights, is too far in between. Naoya Inoue, since he entered the 122-pound weight division, he's only fought unified world champions. 2 unified on the world champions and the number 1 contender. Now he's fighting the number 2 contender and TJ Doheny. A lot of people feel like that number 2 ranking was a little bit pushed up there. You know what I'm saying? Right? When I went to go look up the WBA world ranking system, they don't even have right now currently. I think the number 3 and number 4 guy is not ranked under their system. They just started moving some things around. In fact, TJ Doheny's coming off his last 3 fights. He might have honestly got that ranking on his own for the WBA. Now, the WBC, the IBF, and the WBO, no. But for the WBA, the guys they got listed there, yeah, I could see where he can. Yeah. So I went back and I looked at it. I was like, really? Did they push this guy along? And I was doing my math because I'm being unbiased. Because if they pushed him along, you know I'm going to say it. I got no problem saying it. I'll be like, yo, they pushed TJ Doheny along for Naoya Inoue to bust that ass, right? Which in actuality, I think that's kind of what it is, right? But nah, I can't hate on Doheny. I can't. For the 3 wins in Japan coming off, I know he had a little bit of activity since his last fight, But yeah, you can make a strong argument for him. So I was like, oh shit, maybe he did earn that. So he is like officially the number 2 ranked guy. So I was like, because counting the last guys that are up there and their winning streaks and everything. So that's what I'm going off. I'm just going off that, right? So I was like, okay. Then I said to myself, listen, everything to the side, guys. Push everything to the side. You're TJ Doheny. Bob Arum calls you. Hey, TJ, what are you doing? How you doing, buddy? You know what this is? Bob Arum. Yeah, check it out. You want to fight for 4 belts? Yeah, sure. Why? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm available. Yeah, I'll take the fight. Yeah. Yo, what kind of phone call is that? That's a phone call I dream of. That's the phone call, like, that's gonna change my stars. That's the phone call right there I've been waiting for my whole life in boxing. That's what kind of phone. Listen, I know there's a killer on the other side of that phone. I know this ain't gonna be an easy task. And I know they're putting me up against arguably probably the best boxer we have right now. But you know what? I like my motherfucking odds. Let's go. Whoa! Bro, I'd be in it. And there would be no quit in me. Yo, listen. Once I got that phone call and I announced it to the world, that's the last time the world sees me. Lionheart, how you doing, baby? And I'm in the gym. I'm in the gym. And I'm in there every day killing myself. And I want them to bring them all in. Bring me all them little skinny dudes in fast, quick as hell. Bring them all in. Then bring me some power. You know what I'm saying? Listen, that is an opportunity that words couldn't even describe it for me. I know one thing right now. If I was TJ Doheny, I would embrace the moment. I would thank Naoya Inoue for the opportunity, for sharing the ring with him. And that's all the things he'll get out of me. That's all the things he'll get out of me. That'll probably be the last nice statement I say about him. Because from there on in, I'm going to rip your freaking head off. You, him, whoever else. Let's go. Listen, I'm going to talk cash shit. And I'm going to train. And I'm going to try to get in his head a little bit. I'm going to try to use all the advantages I can that America taught me. You know what I mean? I was bred well, bred well. I'll start talking about your dog. I don't care, man. Right. And then, like, I'll go against everything I believe in the shit talking department because I'll need every advantage that I need. I'm fighting the greatest fighter in the world, bro. I don't think I'm gonna beat him in the ring, so I gotta beat him somewhere else. Maybe I can mess with his head a little bit. I don't know. I might learn Japan swear words. You know how when every nationality, Puerto Rican, Dominican, when you come from a native island, right, and you come to America, what are the first words you learn? The swear words. That's it. That's all you guys want to. How do you say fuck you? Mother bitch. That's all they learn. I'll go over there and I'll learn all the Japanese swear words. Right? You know what I mean? You ever hear Saul Canelo Alvarez swear? It's like the funniest thing in the world. He's like, mother bitch. Huh? He puts he be switching up the words. It's crazy. But that's what kind of opportunity TJ Doheny has in front of him. He has the kind of opportunity that most men will never get. And then he has the same opportunity that most men would fear. Some men won't answer the phone. And as you can see, they didn't. They didn't pick up the phone because of fear of losing, because of the reputation that Naoya Inoue has as a monster. He is truly, truly destroying these guys in competition. He's making it look easy at times, and everyone knows who he is. Once he did that to Nonito Donaire in the second fight, that performance he had against Stephen Kubo Fulton, performances like when he knocked out Payano in the World Series of Boxing in like 40 something seconds, 70, whatever, 70 seconds it was, right? When he put away Emmanuel Rodriguez like that. Emmanuel Rodriguez came into that fight 19-0, had never been knocked out in his career, knocked down, nothing, tough Puerto Rican fighter, the IBF champion. He made short work of him. 2 rounds he lasted with Naoya Inoue. 2 rounds. He's taking these fighters and he's really taking the fight out of them. And it's going to be interesting to see how TJ Doheny has prepared himself for such a fighter like Naoya Inoue. It has to be a little bit nerve-wracking to understand what you're up against. But TJ Doheny has been against slick Japanese fast fighters, and he's caught up to him. In fact, he knocked one out with one punch. TJ Doheny. He knocked this Japanese dude out with one punch. Boom! He did get up. Yo, but his head snapped off the... Yo, he was out like on his feet. What woke him up was his head violently snapping off the canvas. That's what woke him up. And then the ref let the fight go on for like 10 more seconds. TJ applied pressure. Then the referee intervened. And he was like, I seen enough. Like that. So TJ Doheny does have like one punch knockout power. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. You know, he is strong. So what he lacks in speed and your mobility as a fighter, right? Like Naoya Inoue, what he lack when TJ lacks in speed and like that good elusiveness movement, he's more like one step forward, step forward, step forward, trying to pressure, and then he gives a one big burst. Like he'll wait for you to throw the jab, then he'll burst over the jab quick. He has that. That's his move. That's his move right there. He's not a great counter puncher, so to speak. He uses the hooks for multiple reasons. You can use the hook on the inside. He has like a long hook too as well, and he has one short on the inside. Naoya Inoue has all three and then some. And when it comes to a monster check hook, Naoya Inoue has one of the best left check hooks in the business. Go look at his second fight when he fought that Thai nationalist dude, that little short, stocky dude. Oh my God, full display, perfect check hook by a 19-year-old Naoya Inoue at the time. He's really like, and he's humble to his approach to the game, right? He's sitting there on the interview for Top Rank, the one he was talking about, right? And Naoya Inoue is still saying he doesn't feel like a complete fighter. Still, he does not feel like a complete fighter. He feels like there's much to learn, and he can get better and improve more on his fighting style. A man like that is saying he's not where he wants to be. But yet you ask some of these young kids, I'm the best since sliced bread. Nobody could beat me. Everybody's ducking me. You know why they're ducking me? Because I'm the best. Bro, you don't even got a belt. You haven't even fought for a world title, and automatically you're the best. You see them, you hear them out there, right? And you got the best in the world saying to you guys, I don't feel like I'm the best. I feel like I get. What's that saying right there? That should say it all. Right there. That should say it all. Always a student of the game. Always wanting to learn. Always wanting to get better. This is a man that has never tasted defeat. You would think that this is a guy that he's saying, oh, I got to learn. I got things I need to do. I need to get better. It's probably a guy that's talking that has 1 or 2 losses or so. You know, he's learning from experience, right? Talking about experience, right? Here's a guy that's a highly decorated champion, 4 divisions, 22 consecutive world title fights, all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions, never defeated. That guy right there, I'm not the best fighter, he says. They say, who's the best fighter? Terence Crawford. They say he's number 1, then he's number 1. Then it took him like a month after that. He got up on the, he was in New York. He was interviewing. He finally said, you know what? I'm going to have to say myself number 1, Terence Crawford number 2. I'm going to have to take that spot. I think his PR team told him, stop being so humble. And, you know, they like when you demand the number 1 spot, I guess. You know? I don't even see the argument, to tell you the truth, anymore. I used to see the argument with Terence Crawford and Naoya Inoue. When Naoya Inoue knocked out Stephen Kubo Fulton, I felt like he went on top. When Terence Crawford knocked out Errol Spence Jr., I felt like he went back on top. And ever since that moment, I don't think there's an argument. I think Naoya Inoue should be on top right now. He's coming across his 3rd fight, and Terence Crawford just went into his first fight from a year later at 154 pounds. So when you're talking about the body of work and the activity of Naoya Inoue, it far exceeds Terence Crawford's work right now. Activity. Terence Crawford's not staying active enough for me with 1 fight every year. This will be for the last 6 years. He fought 1 time every year for the last 6 years, Terence Crawford. Naoya Inoue is on his 3rd fight for this year alone. I think he fought last year 3 times too as well, and the year before, and so forth and so forth. I think there was only 2 years in Naoya Inoue's life where he only had like 1 fight or 2 fights that year, and that was due in part to the coronavirus. So it wasn't his fault. Wasn't a lot of fighters' fault. They were just held up, right? So had it not been for that, Naoya Inoue's record would be even that much more impressive. He probably would be in his 5th weight division by now, because I don't know if you guys are waiting for this, but I can't wait for the announcement. There's a lot of people thinking he's going to ride out 2025. He's going to ride out 2024 to 2025 and then move up to 126 in 2025, right? Okay. Being the fact that if he doesn't move up to 120 on 126, he only has 1 more fight scheduled for this year in December, late November, early December. He's going to fight early December, late November, somewhere around there. He'll fight. And that will be his last fight. So if he chooses to finish out, he's definitely got 1 more fight before 2025. And then I think that's when he'll officially go. I'm not sure. But I know this, that money can move mountains. And those Saudis are throwing around money like it's going out of style. They get to the ear of Naoya Inoue and they say the right things. We might have a better fight. If they say the right things. He's not going to fight for a catch weight. He's not going to fight for a miscellaneous belt. And he's not just going to throw away his 22 going on 23 consecutive world title fight for money. He's not going to throw that away for that. So, but if, let's say, if the Saudi prince was to say, I want you to fight Espinoza at 126 or Ray Vargas or whoever, whichever one at 126, you pick them. I don't care who you pick. And as long as he's a champion and he has a belt and it's for a real weight division, now we're talking. Now perhaps you can get him in America. You can get him against a world champion and you could get him entering, which, I mean, this is going to be a big moment. The second, and I mean the minute he steps at 126, he just puts his toe in 126. That's 5 weight divisions right there, right? Because obviously he's going to be fighting for a belt. He would have to win it to make it a solidify fifth, but that'll be exciting because that's where we know he's going to be headed. The minute he grabs just one belt there, that's it. It's a done deal. He's tied with Floyd. He ties Floyd with 5 weight divisions. That's it. That's a done deal, baby. But he has to win one. And I have faith in him. If there was any fighter right now I got faith in, and I would back up right now, would be a fighter like Naoya Inoue. I got faith in Tank Davis. I got faith in Terence Crawford. I got faith in my guys. Yes, I do. Shit, I even got faith in Shakur Stevenson with the performances he's been doing. But I know who Shakur is. I'm not blind. Okay, he's not knocking people out. He might not be so fan-friendly. But did he lose? No, he didn't lose. Is he still undefeated? Yes, I understand that. I understand he's going through a little rough patch, But, if there's just one fighter I had to pick to get behind, it would be Naoya Inoue. Naoya Inoue shows me discipline in and out of the ring. Naoya Inoue shows me that he is fully committed to boxing. I don't see Naoya Inoue flipping his car, beating up his wife, kicking his dog, drunk, doing drugs, hanging out in Japanese bars. I don't see none of that. And boy, I be looking. And I don't see none of that. You know what I see? Dedication, hard work, focus. That's what I see. And when I see a fighter like that, I can get behind him. Like right now, as of right now, Abdullah Mason. I like the way he's coming out so far. Let's see if the world corrupts him. Let's see if the rest of our Americans, they're his so-called friends, but they say, drink this, smoke that, bang her, get in your car, push the pedal to the metal. Woo! Yeah, but those are your friends. You could see a good apple coming up, and you could see a rotten apple. And if you guys wanted it, we're anywhere close or even in the circle of Abdullah Mason, and you love that man, you got love for him, keep him safe. Help him keep his head on his shoulders. Help him get to the gym. Help him when he doesn't want it. I'm tired. No, let's go. That's love. That's your boy for you. Not your boy saying, oh, you're tired. Let's not go to the gym. Let's go to the casino. Hey, yo, you remember that girl last night with the fritter? Let's go get her. Like, no. They're just there for the ride, for the money. Remember, when you're in an entourage, you're the money. Just like they were supposed to protect Devin Haney. Devin Haney was never supposed to throw that punch in that amusement park, and I'll stand on it. What kind of fucking entourage do you got or security where you're throwing your own punches? You're the money. You're the star. Get him into the car, and whatever threat is coming your way, then you take on that threat. That's what you're here for. But if you think Devin Haney is going to get sued for throwing a punch and then break y'all off something and pay the lawsuit, y'all didn't do your job. You guys are not protecting the asset. Devin Haney was the asset, bro. I don't know what these guys think about entourages, but I know what it's like to be in the streets, right? And if you're the most important person with your clique, they better step up. Hell yeah, man. So I think that Naoya Inoue is in a very unique place right now. He's really keeping the sport elevated like this. We can't wait to see him. And I'm going to remind you, September 3rd, Tuesday in the morning. It's going to be around 7 o'clock in the morning. Usually his fights start 6 o'clock, prelims. They enter the ring, the walk-in, sometimes 7:30, sometimes 9 o'clock. I'm going to double check onto it, have more on it for you, right? So that'll be next Tuesday, September 3rd, okay? So he's in a good position right now because he can call his shots. depending if he calls his shot, if they answer the call. Because even though Naoya Inoue has made himself the kind of fighter that can pick his fighters, even though just because you could pick your fighters doesn't mean that they're going to pick you. It doesn't mean they're going to accept the fight. Naoya Inoue can literally be like, oh, you know, Casimero's going to fight, right? He's going to go on that card. Anyway, Casimero is so yesterday's news right now. He's not going to catch Naoya anyway. For all you fans, listen, love your fighter, Casimero. He's done a lot for the sport. I like the guy. He was always wild. You know, he talked a lot of shit, him and his little yellow hair. And, you know, Casimero's Casimero, man. You know what I'm saying? That one, he was a dog. He was a real dog, man. Right? It's just the lifestyle and his friends. You see what happened? That's another prime example right there of having a whole bunch of yes men around you. Casimero and them telling him, let's go to the. That's exactly what he did. He stopped training. He went over there with them. And now look at him. You see? So, like, when Naoya Inoue was in the situation where he can pick his fights, and as you can see, no one wanted to fight. Not even the guy that got in the ring and threatened him. Sam Goodman. The guy actually threatened Naoya Inoue. Either fight me or vacate the belt. That's threatening. You just threatened me. You just told me either I fight you or I just lay my belts down because I don't want to fight you, right? That's a threat, right? He's gonna threaten me and pull out of the fight. How you gonna threaten me? Get in the ring, look me right in the face, tell me, yo, I'm a mandatory for 2 of your belts, not 1, 2. You need to fight me right now or vacate them belts. Now, yeah, I looked him right in the face. He didn't even think about it. He went, yeah, I'll fight you. I'll fight you in September. What was Sam Goodman's approach when he did that? Did he think he was going to bluff? Now, oh no, I don't want to fight you, Sam Good. Here, take the belt. Here, I'll vacate. Did he think he was going to actually vacate the belts? Was that a ploy? Did he, hey, let me get in the ring. I'll see if I poke out my chest as much as I can. And maybe he might really get the, yo, what was your strategy? He's fucking stupid, bro. What's up, Lisa? Let me read some of your Naoya is definitely has skills and stamina is unmatched. Naoya should fight in the US, United States, Mill City. Yo, Mill City. He should fight in United States of America. He's already fought in United States, I believe, 3 times. He's fought outside of his country a total of 4 times. The problem with the situation with him not fighting in America, 2 things. 2 things, right? Check this out, right? For one, if he leaves Japan and comes to America, what does that change? It doesn't change the fighters in his division. They don't automatically turn into all American fighters, right? They're still the same guys in his weight division. Whether he fights them in Japan, America, or on the moon, they're the same guys. It's like somebody says, like Floyd, you should come to America, the Japanese superstar, cross the pond and fight American fighters so that we can see if you're really about that. Because as we know, you guys are good over there, but when you come over here and fight the best, you guys lose. Oh, okay. In that situation, it would have been the European guy had not yet fought the American fighters. So he would venture off over here and fight the American fighters in his division. In this situation, Naoya Inoue has already beat all the top fighters in his division. There's no one else left. So even if he came to America, the fighter in front of him would still be TJ Doheny, Sam Goodman, the same suspects. You see, when they did that to those European fighters and Russian fighters and everything, they had a strong point because you had to come to America to fight the American champion or the American guy. This is not that. Naoya Inoue has already beaten all the guys and the American champion, Stephen Kubo Fulton. So you don't got no more American fighters. You don't got anybody else in his division. He wiped them all out. So if he was to fight in America tomorrow, September 3rd, for this fight, he'd still be fighting Sam Goodman. Sorry, TJ Doheny. He'd still be fighting TJ Doheny. And after TJ Doheny, whoever you can get from stop shaking from underneath their bed to answer the phone, and I mean that, whoever you can find that you think that's going to voluntarily come up and fight this guy, and by the way, he's got a lot to offer. You're going to probably get paid the most money, 4 belts, and you probably can go up into star status on a loss. He has a lot to offer. Why isn't anybody calling? Because not everybody's willing to sign up to get knocked out in front of your freaking mother, your wife, and your kids. Not everybody wants to get turned into a meme. Not everybody wants to go back next week to the gym and all you hear is, yo, did you see yourself get knocked out yet? Yo, check it out. Not everybody wants to sign up to that shit. So when you think it's all easy, like, oh yeah, man, I know 100 dudes. Yeah, ask the Russell brothers how fast he pulled out of that Naoya Inoue fight. They asked him one time. That man took off. He didn't want none of that. No parts of it. None. That's why Naoya Inoue has to move up to 126. Now, if he moves up to 126 and he comes out and he fights the top 126 fighters in America, now you would be saying something. Now the fighters change. The fighters change. We got a couple American fighters in there that are tough, right? And we have also more competition that he can fight in America that is also tough. Let's see if you survive under the bright lights, under the hostile crowd that is America. Let's see how you perform. It's all good. You're out in Japan. They're like, oh yeah, right? Real quiet like, right? But when you come in through that and they screaming at you and he sees like the booing and he's like, yo, what the hell? Like, you ain't in Kansas no more. You know, that plays a factor into it. But such a man skilled as Naoya Inoue, you guys wasted too much time with him. He's been in arenas with 50 plus thousand fans. You guys should have got him early when he wasn't used to the bright lights of American lights. That's a done deal. I don't think that affects a fighter like that no more. He already knows who he is. And that's done. So whether he comes to America or not, whatever, at this point right now, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You know, when you talk like that, like, oh, Naoya Inoue got to come to America. Really? That's funny. Floyd Mayweather fought his entire career in United States of America. Not one, and I repeat, not one fight out of United States. He's never ventured out into enemy's territory, not once. He's never fought in no other country in his professional boxing career. As an exhibition fighter, he's fought in Japan. He's fought in different places in the world as an exhibition fighter. But on his professional card, just in case you guys don't know this, so when they're saying Naoya Inoue has to leave Japan to come to America, you turn around and you look at that person in the face and say, Floyd never left U.S. All 50 fights were held in the U.S. of A. Not one time has he ever dared to be great. He always told them to come to him. Floyd didn't go out to with other judges and officials, and he didn't take no risk like that. And if you got no problem, consider Floyd Mayweather the greatest fighter in the world. He ain't never left U.S. So Naoya Inoue has already left Japan 4 times, so we can't say he hasn't left Japan because he's already left Japan 4 times, right? But I don't think that's going to make or break him. Not at the level in the position that he's currently in today. Had it been a few years ago, just before that World Series of Boxing, you said that about Naoya Inoue, I'd be in agreement with you. He has to come to America because you know you got to cross the pond to be great, right? What happened to Ricky Hatton? What happened to Anthony Joshua? What happened to all them dudes that crossed the pond? What happens, right? They get a rude awakening, don't they? Right? But this is not that situation. Don't be fooled. All those situations when they call in fighters out like that, they all got different situations. They were a top American guys that dude didn't fight. They were American champions that those guys didn't fight, and they had to come to America to prove that they were the best. Naoya Inoue defeated all of that in Japan alone. There is no one else. So if he comes out here, like I'm telling you, he's going to fight TJ Doheny. There's no American guy. There's no top guys. He beat them all. Casimero doesn't have a chance. Too slow. Doesn't have the stamina to stay with Inoue. Well, when Casimero fights, they just announced that his air defibrillator can't be in the ring. So I don't know what he's going to do now. Right? He's going to need oxygen. He ain't got the stamina. It's, as a matter of fact, I'm hearing it's a 10-round fight. The Casimero fight's a 10-round fight. Yeah. I never seen a boxer like Inoue before. High level skill, fast hands and legs. Has power, stamina, and can take power punches. He is in one in lifetime talent. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. You know what makes Naoya Inoue so special? It's not even his power, and I talked about this. It's not even his power and his speed. No, I've seen powerful speed. Sugar Ray Leonard, very fast. Floyd, very fast, right? Tank Davis, very powerful. Mike Tyson, very powerful. I've seen speed and power. That's not what makes Naoya Inoue good. No. What makes him so good for me is his placement and his timing. It's impeccable. He's always in the right place, the right position to throw the punch with good torque, good technique. He's never out of position where that his offense is off and he's just throwing a punch. No, his timing isn't. He has like this slight like stutter. It's real subtle. If you don't know what you're looking for, you might not catch it. You might just think that he's just throwing a punch, right? But he kind of like lays the punch up when he's dropping it like this. It kind of goes something like this in slow motion, as slow as possible, because in real life, in real time, it goes real fast, right? And it looks like it's going fast, right? But as soon as the guy's dipping, his hand goes up, there's a slight pause right here. It goes boom, and then he just drops it on you. It's like at that moment, he's fluctuating the liquid in his body, and he's snapping it at the tip of his hand. Now, I've heard of training like this. I could never really master it as much. I could hit hard. I know how to drop a punch. I know how to throw it the angle. But what I'm talking about with that whipping with the blood, it's kind of like when they sell those bats at like Walmart, you see them, they fill it up halfway with water. It's an aluminum bat with water filled up inside of it like that much. And then you go to the batting range, and when you go to swing the bat, the water fluctuates to the tip of the bat. You could just tap the ball. Boop, that shit's gone. And it gives you confidence in your swing. If the human body sees it with your own eyes, it doesn't matter if you got water in the bat and you know it. The body's going to record what it sees. As long as your body is seeing you hit that ball, boop, right? You're going to believe it. That's just like when you lift weights. You can never bench 225. You keep putting that 225 on you every day or every other day, however you train. And eventually your body's going to register that and you're going to push back. You're going to lift it. Eventually. You'll get it. Eventually. Hard work, you'll get it. Right? So that's what that is. When he's like, I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's snapping the blood, like all the lip weight, like it snaps forward like that. I'm trying to explain how he's getting off these punches, right? Because I'm in awe with that Luis Pantera Nari knockout. As a fighter, I understood what he did. As a fan, you can just say, oh, he knocked him out. Simple. Wow, he knocked him out, blah, blah, blah. And you move on to the next fight. But for me, I was stunned. I was sitting there looking at it like this, saying, where did he generate that power from? Where did he, how did he, like usually you're taught to twist your foot from your hips, make sure your hips swing, snap, pop, and snap the punch. Bring some shoulder, bring some momentum, not so hard, don't tense up, just let it snap, and your punch will really hit him. It'll affect him. You don't have to do a lot of movement to hit hard, but you gotta have perfect form, and to get that snap. That's not what he did. He was legitimately standing right in front of Luis Pantera Nari when he hit him with that side shot that hurt him, right? And as soon as Luis Pantera Nari, that Inoue hit like this to like peel his glove, he was like going to peel the glove. He hit him with the uppercut. He went, boop! When he hit him with that uppercut, Nari was hurt. You could see it. But you could see he was still looking into Naoya Inoue's eyes. The shot he hit him, it don't make sense. The way he hit him. I've been sitting here going like this, rewind like this. It's crazy. He went like that. He legitimately had his hand from here to here and went like that. He just snapped his hand like this. And that man flew on the ropes. His neck fell back. He fucking stumbled across in the corner of the ring. His arm was up on the thing like this on the side. His neck went back again one more time in the corner. It looked like you just smacked that man in the face with a brick. That's what it looked like. And I was like, wait a minute. You're not supposed to be able to hit somebody like that. Who does that? Who ever can hit someone like that? When Gervonta Davis hit Frank the Ghost Martin, it was similar sequence, right? He hits Frank, boop, right? And then Frank kind of like went like that and showed Tank he was hurt. And then Tank, boop, put him away. Now, here's the difference. This is what you might not pick up on, but you got me, and I'm here for you, and I'm going to pick it up on. Let's get these likes up. Check it out. When Gervonta hit him, you can see where Gervonta was moving his body and his momentum forward. He was using the weight of his velocity and coming forward to hit Frank the Ghost Martin. If that's not so, then why did he hit him and he kept running forward? He basically almost walked over Frank the Ghost Martin when the referee grabbed him. He was going forward. He used his momentum, his body weight, and the shot to drop him, like you're trained to do. That's not what Naoya Inoue did. He legitimately stood there with the same hand. He went like this and walked away. He wasn't moving his body. Naoya Inoue's body wasn't going forward. Wasn't doing anything. He wasn't using his body weight. He wasn't using the momentum of his opponent. None of that. And that's why I was like, huh? How did he do that? You're not supposed to do that like that. Not like that. Not like that. If you could, that means to tell me if you give him less than a second to concentrate and just you stand in front of him and punch you in the face, he's probably going to knock you out. If you can do that right there and adjust to the movement, mind you, he's hitting a moving target. Neri is he's trying to swing, throw back, everything. And in a brief moment, it was ha ha, sit down. I was in awe. I was like, because I know how hard that is to do. I know how hard that is. I knock people out. My brother is he's a phenomenal knockout artist. I grew up around some pretty great knockout artists. As I got older, I got better at it, a lot better at it. But I can't do that. I could never do that. I don't know. Maybe if I got the proper training and he maybe taught me a tip or two, let me know some of that now. Oh, yeah, family secret. But as you can see, it's not a family secret. Now, yeah, in a way, it's obvious that he was born with some of these talents, because if it was a family secret, his kid brother Takuma would be knocking out everybody too. And he's one of the um he's a good champion. He's got good form, good technique, but his knockout percentile ratio as a champion is among the lowest of all champions, active champions right now. Now, yeah, it's amazing that your kid brother is known for being one of the lowest punching knockout artists in the game as an active champion, and the older brother is known as one of the hardest hitting knockout artists. That must suck, right? Growing up, but it must also be good because he's your brother, right? Right? I'll go get Naoya, huh? Yeah, yeah. Act tough if you want to. My brother's right there, bro. Right, right. So, and then the younger brother is actually bigger than him. That's the crazy thing, right? The little brother Takuma, he's bigger. He started his I think he did start his career at 120. Don't hold me on that. Don't hold me that his brother started at 126, but I know that his brother was at what was it? 122. No, his brother was at 122. That's where his brother was. Then he loses, and in fact, he cut weight to go down, and now Naoya Inoue went up to his weight division. Like that. It went like that. Because I remember that French dude beat Naoya Inoue's kid brother, right? Then who was it? I think it was Donaire. Donaire was the one that beat the dude that beat Naoya Inoue's kid brother. And he had that belt. That belt was Naoya Inoue's kid brother's belt. So he went out there and got his brother's belt back for him. Basically, is what he did. Then the older bro moves up. Naoya Inoue, he vacates all four of his belts. Guess who fights for one of his belts? His kid brother, the WBA. And he took the WBA route. Out of all the four belts, unfortunately, I'm going to have to tell the truth. Out of all the four belts, the weaker belt, the weaker division, the weaker ranking division is the WBA. So if you're going to go after one of the belts, it would be the WBA way. The most prestigious belt, but has all the bullshit behind it, is the WBC, which is the green one. And there's a lot of fucking politics that go along with that belt. The most strictest belt, the up and up belt of boxing, the IBF. The IBF. And there's a 10-pound rehydration clause if you decide to be that champion, which that champion is saying, we don't want no more weight bullying. They never had wanted it. We have a 10-pound. You have to be a natural fighter at this weight. If you can't make the weight, move the fuck up. You shouldn't be here, right? The WBA is rumored to adopt that same system now. I haven't really been paying attention because there hasn't been that many WBA champion titles on the line as of late, right? Besides Tank Davis won, and that's when the 10 pounds was, in fact, where we learned about it, right? So, okay. So, yeah, that's how it would be. Now, yeah, in a way, he's a belt hunter. No, he's not a belt hunter. He's a greedy little belt hunter. He's a greedy champion. He don't like nobody else being called champion in his weight division. Oh, hell no. He don't like that shit. Ain't gonna be no other champion in here. It's only going to be me, and that's it. In the last two weight divisions now, Inoue has been no other champ. You can't call nobody else champion. He entered the 122-pound weight division. It took him 6 months. 6 months to get all 4 belts. Yes, you heard that correctly. There is no error. There is no mistake. Not 6 years, not 3 years, not 4, not 2, not 1. To get all 4 belts, it took him 6 months. From the moment he walked into 122 pounds, he fought Stephen Kubo Fulton in June. He fought Marlon Tapales in December. 6 months. He already had all 4. The moment that fight ended with Marlon Tapales, he had all 4 belts. That was 6 months. They try to feed it to you like a year. Oh, he did it within a calendar year. I'm like, no, he did it within 6 months. What y'all talking about? It fucking he fought Marlon. He fought Stephen Kubo Fulton in July. In July, not June. I said June, didn't I? It was July. He fought him in July. And then he fought Marlon Tapales in December. 6 months. Fucking crazy, bro. He is one scary dude. And it's just the way that he's doing it. In fact, right? How many of us truthfully can say we would know this many bantamweight fighters had it not been for Naoya Inoue? How many fights would you have said you witnessed or saw at the bantamweight division had it not been for talent such as Naoya Inoue? When they were calling them hype jobs, the reason why you're here on my channel, you didn't go along with that narrative. You knew what you were seeing with your own 2 eyes. They were saying, he's a hype job, loaded hand wraps, steroid this, ba, ba, ba. And you're looking at him and you're saying to yourself, that's not what I'm seeing. And then they started saying steroids. So, you know what I did? Even though I knew who he was by this point when Floyd said that, because that was Floyd's doing, right? Fucking hating on him, okay? That's where that came from, okay? Where it actually came from was he was scheduled to fight, I think it was Stephen Kubo Fulton. And they woke him up around 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. They woke up Naoya Inoue's kids in Japan. The VADA people, the testing people. They knocked on his door. Like, yo, we need blood and fucking urine, right? Naoya Inoue was pissed. You woke up my kids, right? I look, I don't like you guys coming, waking my kids up. I got an infant kid under 1 year old at the time, and the other one was just over 1 going into 2 at the time. Something right around there, right? Now I got to put my kids back to bed, right? Here's your blood. Here's your urine. Have a nice day. He gave them the samples. Did the samples come back positive? No. So what was the fucking problem? They was testing them 3 times a week. 3 times a week they was testing Naoya Inoue behind that bullshit, right? And any athlete's going to complain about it, because first of all, in today's day and era, what are you, fucking cloning me? Weren't you guys just here yesterday taking blood and urine? Why are you not the 2 same guys? Who do I got coming in my house? Yeah, you got a badge. But how do I really fucking know you work for these people? How do I know you not coming here taking my blood trying to clone me? Because I'm the best fighter in the world. Wait a minute. Whoa, well, you know what, man? I don't care about your badge. Yo, what are you gonna say? I'm taking steroids now? Because I'm protecting my health? Because you guys just here yesterday taking blood? And then you guys sent not even the 2 same guys. You sent me 2 new guys. The fuck is going on here? I would start thinking like that. He said a statement. People took it, try to go left. No. This is how I did my homework. This is how I know who's on steroids and who's not on steroids. You want to know how I know that Naoya Inoue is 100%, in my opinion, not on steroids? Want to know why? Because they have footage of him when he was 9 years old. Since then, they have multiple hundreds of videos of all amateur fights, sparring matches, boxing. He's been that fast, that powerful his entire life. And he came up all the way from the amateurs throughout every fucking fight in his professional career, 27 fights. And he's never tested positive for no banned substance or any substance breaking down in his body. Because they can detect the steroid might be out of your body, the P might be out of your body, but it still breaks down into other things in your body. And for like 10 years, they can detect that. Take a hair sample, right? Stephen Kubo Forte wanted that hair sample shit with him. They took it. What happened? Pass, clean, clean athlete. He's been competing like this his entire life. That right there you're saying is pure hate and bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Naoya Inoue is the truth. He's the truth. He's been, and I went all fights. I was like, let me see if his performance takes a dip. You know, like when you see your favorite fighter, Conor Ben, fighting over there in the UK, and when he doesn't have the juice in him, and he comes down here, he doesn't look like the same fighter. I wonder why. Manny Pacquiao fought Floyd on the night that Floyd made him take a steroid test, and for some reason, Manny Pacquiao didn't look like Manny Pacquiao. Right? I'm not saying he did, just suspicious, right? Naoya Inoue has looked like Naoya Inoue from day one to present day. And when you're in world title fights, they take the most urines. He has been in 22 consecutive world title fights in a row. You mean to tell me in 22 consecutive world titles, if he has a serum that can do that, shit, quit boxing and sell that shit. You're going to make $1 billion. You don't have to get another punch in your face. If you develop some kind of serum that's going to make you an shit, the fuck you got to go and get punched in the face for? Sell that shit in the black market, right? But there is no serum. There is none. It's just him. This 5'5", 122-pound man. And that is what's doing all this commotion. And that is what's bringing us out of our seats. And that is who I considered one of the best fighters we have today. Naoya Inoue is truly special. Truly, truly, truly special. And if you want to see a great fight, if you love seeing those oh shit moments and that wow factor that it takes you out of your seat, I encourage you to tune in Tuesday, September 3rd to watch Naoya Inoue enter the ring against TJ Doheny. And if he's victorious on that night, I'm sticking around. I need to hear it. I need to know what he's doing next. I'm curious. I gotta know. When it comes to a fighter like this, yes, because I got kind of like a schedule and it's going pretty good. You know, one good fighter is getting out of the ring and the next is getting in the ring. And it's kind of been like that since 2023 when this big explosion for all the belts. And yes, there was a big explosion. They got off, but now look, present day, right now, there is, I don't know if you know this, but there's only one man active in all of boxing that has all 4 belts. Only one. It's Naoya Inoue. He is the only man in the sport of boxing currently, right now, that has all 4 belts. Usyk was stripped for the IBF, which Anthony Joshua and Dubois are going to fight in Saudi in September, right? So, Saul Canelo Alvarez was stripped of his IBF title, and he was the last other guy that had all 4 belts. That's it. There's only one man in all of boxing that has all 4 belts. That's Naoya Inoue. Yeah, Casimero got the fight scheduled for October 13th too, as well. It's the same October 13th that Naoya Inoue's kid brother's gonna fight. That's the same date, October 13th. Naoya Inoue's kid brother's gonna be fighting that same day. So, yeah, I'm definitely gonna tune in for that. See what Casimero looks like. I know it's a 10-round fight for Casimero. I know he's probably not gonna look the best. Uh, I hope, I hope. You know why I hope for Casimero? Because I hope he wins this fight, and I hope he looks dominant. That way, he can fool a couple more people to think that he deserves that Naoya Inoue fight. And once he signs on the dotted line, woohoo! You gonna answer for all that shit you've been talking, Casimero. Remember all those videos you made. Remember all it's talking about Naoya Inoue's father, talking about Naoya Inoue's people, his brother. I got a good memory. Oh, oh, Casimero gets that fight. Woo! Listen, I will hype that fight up. Let's go, Casimero. Yeah, let's get it, baby. Get it, and then all of a sudden, poop, 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 poop. Casimero, what you doing on the ground? Get up. That's not how you win the fight. The fight's that way. yo, yo, I would love to see it because of all the shit talking. To finally prove once and for all, to all the people that think that maybe at one point in time, Casimero deserved to be in the ring with him. There was a point in time that I was in agreement with that. Yeah. And then somehow, well, not somehow, but now Naoya Inoue and Casimero's trajectories went two different ways. Naoya Inoue's trajectory went straight up, and Casimero's kind of went like, I'm not gonna say it went down like that. It kind of like went to the corner. It was like crooked, fucked up, going this way. It wasn't going up. It just wasn't going the right way. And then you think by not putting in all the hard work, not keeping your belt, not winning the fights you were supposed to win, that merits you a fight with a man such as Naoya Inoue status just because you got the biggest mouth? No. Had he won the fights he needed to win, had he maintained his belt, and Naoya Inoue didn't find him, I would find that to be a problem. I would definitely come on and be like, yo, what's up with Naoya Inoue ducking Casimero? That's what I would say. Because if Casimero had his belt, he won the fights he needed to fight, and he was standing right there saying, yo, I'm right here, and Naoya Inoue kept walking by him, then I would say, yo, wait a minute. You guys know me. I like Naoya Inoue, but I'm critical to all fighters. If I see Naoya Inoue doing some phony baloney I'm going to call him on it. I'm going to say it quick. You're not going to hide. But when you're doing the right shit and you're in the ring taking care of business, I don't care where you come from. I don't care if you come from Russia, Philippines, US, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Dominican Republic. I don't care. All I ever want to know, and all I ever wanted to know is, what does the best fighter in the world look like? And where does he come from? That's all I want to know. I want to see the best fighter in the world. And I could honestly look at that guy and go, man, that's the best fighter in the world right there. So yeah, that's basically my question as a fight fan. Who is really the best? Who's really the best? You got fighters like Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, Devin Haney. All of them seem to be in their own unique situation. Devin Haney is rumored to want to come back now. They're going to announce one of his opponents. He needs to really get in there, lace it up, get his ass back in the ring, and really show that he's he's world champion material, and that I believe Devin Haney will be a world champion again. He just got to prove it. You know how this sport is. They'll hate you for a little while. They'll shit on you. You give them blood, you bring them action, they'll love you again. The fight fans will love you again. You get in there and knock this guy out brutally, they'll love you. They'll be chanting your name on the way out. They'll forget everything else. The Ryan Garcia loss, everything. But the only way out of this situation for young Devin Haney is to get back in the ring and win it. You don't want to be that guy. Look what happened to him in the amusement park. You don't want to be that guy that's known, that got that circle, that you're really not undefeated. It's bad enough that the world's not, you're not going to erase that from the world. You know that Devin Haney and his father petitioned the networks to ask them to stop showing the fight, and they denied him. Yeah. Like a week after the fight or so, when after Ryan Garcia popped positive, they petitioned to stop showing the fight. They wanted like erase it out of people's minds. And the network was like, fuck you, Bill Haney. We're gonna show it every day, matter of fact. We're gonna show it 3 times today. On a steady rotation. You know? But that was just a bad look for Devin Haney. But like I said, this is the fight business. This is the hurt business. You bring them blood. You get them out of their seats. You give them action. They'll love you again. Winning back the support and the respect from the fight fans doesn't come by getting it in a courtroom or on social media with Twitter fingers, right? No. In boxing, here, in this sport right here, this sport right here, you're going to have to get it in blood. That's it. That's the only way. That's how I see it. You get respect. That's it. You're going to get respect for taking out the guys, the tough fights. You can get your respect back, everything. But unless you get it that way, for me anyway, they're not going to let him up. Then you got Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis. I like the fact that Shakur Stevenson is staying active. I don't like his opponent, right? Joe, look, there's a lot of fights that could have fighters that could have fought Shakur Stevenson, and what you're seeing here is actually Tank Davis' schedule did open up. In fact, Shakur Stevenson's schedule opened up. In fact, but wait a minute, ain't there 2 other champions that schedules that have opened up? Isn't Lomachenko and his countrymen, Buracek, right? Isn't that ain't they both available? Why ain't they fighting? Whatever happened with William Cepeda? With all these guys that were at the top, where are all these guys? All of a sudden, he's fucking fighting Joe Gonzaga, right? Whatever, and it's just like Joe Cordine, right? And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? What happened? You blink real quick, and then none of these fights. I mean, not. And you had like 4 or 5 top 135 pounders that were all available, all of them at the same time. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what to say anymore. I really don't. I'm giving Shakur Stevenson and Tank a break, but I don't know what to say about the rest of the division if I didn't clear that up for you. Here, let me clear it up. Meaning, if Lomachenko says he won't fight his countrymen and they'll let it, that's okay. Well, then I'm okay with Shakur Stevenson not fighting his countrymen. Shakur Stevenson. Why should we let Tank Davis fight Shakur Stevenson for the Americans can knock out each other, and then fucking Shakur's Loma and his countrymen, they got 2 shots at us when our 2 shots just went at each other. So you got to watch out for that. So when probably behind the scenes, Tank and Shakur saw what Lomachenko and the other Ukrainian fighter was doing, and they said, wait a minute, they want us to attack each other right now. Here, why don't you go fight a tune-up fight? I'll go fight another fight, and we'll come back and put pressure on Loma. He has that IBF, and the IBF organization is not going to mess around. So pretty soon he's going to have a mandatory. And then the mandatory for the IBF might be William Cepeda. I think he's for both. I got to check that out, right? So eventually, Loma's got to fight somebody. And if that guy beats him, then we're talking and we're going to go forward with this, right? But as far as the fights, I want the fights. I want to see Shakur and Tank fight just at the right time. They need to pay attention to what's going on. I don't think this is exactly the right time to fight. You know, when I want to see Tank and Shakur fight, I know that those are the two best in the division. So why doesn't Tank fight Loma and Shakur fight the other champion? When they got two belts, they can meet up for an ultimate showdown. Tank Davis got two belts. Shakur got two belts. You know, Shakur got the WBC. Tank Davis got the WBA. Loma got the IBF. And the other guys got the WBO. Right? So then they can fight for the all four belts. And that would be better exciting than having Tank Davis and Shakur go at it right now when it's a little bit too early for me. You know what I'm saying? So yo, they Zepeda is what? For all four belts. All right. That's funny, man. Being a mandatory for that many belts, but fighting nobody for no belt. When are you gonna feel like you're ready? When are you gonna feel like you the confidence to step over to that next level? Next level. Remember Ortiz, right? Victor Ortiz, right? He was Terence Crawford's mandatory for over 2 years in 147. Never filed the paperwork. There have been a lot of people. Look at Sam Goodman is Naoya Inoue's mandatory, not fighting him, right? Zepeda. Zepeda beat everybody's ass to be on the number one under all the major sanctioning bodies. He's catching up to himself under all the major sanctioning bodies, just not fighting any of the champions. Now, Cepeda, the champion he should be going after, the WBO. That would be the champion I would go after. The other three champions, here, let me give you some names. Lomachenko, Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson. That's why Zepeda is not a champion. That's all. That's why he's not a champion. Listen, Shakur will. Shakur will put you to sleep, but Tank ain't. Tank will put you to sleep in a different way. Right? Tank will hit you with this, you'll be sleeping right there. That's the only fighter. When's the last time Loma knocked out anybody? He went the distance with George Camboza, right? So after that, he lost to Devin Haney. Before that, he came off a hiatus, right? So when's the last time Loma knocked out anybody? Can anybody tell me that? Trivia, help me out with that. When's the last time Lomachenko knocked out anybody? I can't remember right now off the top of my head, but I know one thing. You want to see a real knockout? You want to see somebody go to sleep? Tune in September 3rd when Naoya Inoue and TJ Doheny enter the ring. You're going to see somebody get knocked out for sure. Listen, my man is rocking like I think he has over a 95% knockout ratio right now. Naoya Inoue, he's up there. He's got to be up there coming. He had a 90 going into the Donaire. Like right around that time, I remember around that time, it was like 89 point something. So I rounded off to 90, right? So right about now, that shit's got to keep going up. I mean, his last basically 10 fights, he's knocked out. that Donito Donaire won fight, I think it's still at the tail end where he hasn't surpassed 10 fighters above that. But he fought him in the second one and brutally knocked him out. So it should be like his last 10 is straight knockouts. 10 straight knockouts. It should really, really like that. And in fact, he really did knock out Nonito Donaire, and the Nonito Donaire won. Had it not been for that cheating ass referee that stepped in and saved Donaire and let him run around the ring, like he ran from this end all the way to this end, then took a knee. Then he told Naoya Inoue to go to his corner. Then he turned around, made a phone call, tied his shoes, wrote a letter to his mom, checked his grocery list, then started counting. 1, 2. Bro, he gave him like 20 fucking seconds to Nonito Donaire in that first fight. Go watch it. See if I'm lying. Yo, it was crazy. He TKO Camboza in the later rounds, didn't he? Right? He might have. Who, Loma? Did he? Did he in this? He might have. Yeah. I watched the fight and everything. I just can't remember it. I just can't remember it right now. I don't know why I can't remember it. I can't see Loma in the ring with George Camboza in my head. Usually I'm good with this shit, right? I could see their trunks, the color trunks they had, and they were wearing. Like I be remembering all kinds of crazy shit that I don't even think I'm paying attention to. I just for right now I'm having a brain fart, and I can't see them the ending result in my head with the Loma and Camboza. I can't see it in my head. I don't know why. Yeah, I can't see the end of the fight. I can't remember if it went a decision or he stopped him. Now that you said that, the TK, I'm like, did he stop him? I'm like thinking, like, you know, Mark, thank you. Yeah, you think it was the 11th round. So he did, in fact, he stopped him, right? Okay. So then that would be like Loma's last stoppage. Well, you know, okay, against ferocious George Camboza. I'm not gonna laugh with ferocious. He had his moments. He did. He lived his shine. That's not his fault. Tio couldn't get it mentally together, and lost the fight. He dropped Camboza in the fight, Tio, and I think in like the 10th round or some shit. He ended up dropping him. And then George had enough in his gas tank to get up, finish the fight. Kudos for him. Tio's, he just couldn't mentally get it together. I think if George and Tio fight 10 times, George beats him that one time. And it was that night he beat him. Because I think Tio beat him 9 times in a row out of the 10 times they fight. I really do think that. If Tio would have settled in the fight instead of just trying to knock him out for like the first 6, 7 rounds and being embarrassed that you got dropped in the first round, he couldn't get out of his own head. That image of him getting knocked down and thinking about memes and reels, he was already thinking about people, what they were saying in his head while the rounds were going by. Tio couldn't let it go. He started like mixing it up and getting it back together in the later rounds, but in the first 6, 7 rounds, he was so embarrassed by that knockdown and so angry that because he never felt that George Camboza should have been fighting him, that Tio, he fucking checked out right here. Had he settled in, he beats George Camboza. Tio, he would have beat him. Yeah, but that's not Tio's fault. I mean, George Camboza's fault. That's Tio's fault. He couldn't get it together. That's your fault. So yeah. So I'm not going to say that George Camboza is like, some bummer or anything. He lost to some pretty big names. He got in the ring with some got big guys after that. He got undisputed. He got unified status, not undisputed status, unified. He got unified. He had 3 belts. George Camboza. He had the 3 belts. He fought Doheny for the last belt, the WBC, to unite all 4 belts, and he lost. So even though he's got nothing about his head, 3 belts, that's fucking great. yo, yo, Armando, you can't win the Notre Dame's belt like that, bro. You can't predict. I got Loma, KO Camboza, 11th round. You can't win like that, Armando. Yo, fight fans, listen, you guys have been awesome. You guys have been great. It's an amazing show for me tonight. Listen, I had a wonderful time with you guys. I hope I answered enough of you guys' questions. Sometimes I have a habit of just going on and stuff, but I do read all your comments individually every time I turn off my live stream. I go in and I read all the comments and stuff, and I answer them all. So don't think that you said something and that I'm not gonna say it. And if you put down a comment here in this one, tomorrow when I go on live, hop on the live with me. I'll be around 8:30. I'm gonna try to lock in and get it there. And I'm probably going to go start going on in the morning. So I will always answer them. So fight fans, listen, please don't forget to give the video a like, comment in the comment section. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And like always, fight fans, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have a great night. Have a wonderful night. It's been my pleasure. Peace.